Welcome to Indie Voice, and today we are talking about a really awesome game created by one of my many favorite RPG creative companies, SpearHead Games. Now they just created this recent game, I believe it was like last month or so. I just decided to review this game today because this game has been pretty addictive, followed by its constantly changing story timelines. And the name of that game that we're going to be talking about today is called Omensight. Now Omensight is about you are the harbinger, a mythical warrior who appears only at times of crisis. This time you are brought to Aurelia, is torn by war, but there is worse. As night falls, you witness the destruction of the world by the hands of a dark god. As these eyes and the sword of Aurelia, is up to you to reverse its fate. All you know is that you started with a mysterious murderer. You are granted the power to relieve the final day of Aurelia. Lead to the investigation as you decide how you spend each day. Appear alongside characters who played the part in the apocalypse. Fight with them or against them, and use your Omensight power to weave a new narrative, or timeline as I put it. Through your decisions, your skills, and your wits, change the course of the day and perhaps pave the way to a brighter future. Now this game definitely has one of the favorite, most awesome mechanics I've seen in many RPG storytelling type games. This one allows you to change the future to either the bad, the normal, or the good path towards beating the game, but also altering the timelines for people to actually understand what's going on in the situation, besides them assuming what the other person did or who summoned this thing or anything else along those lines. Now this is basically towards a certain person that is very important, a priestess that decided to summon this horrible, wretched, dark god to the world, Vera. Now Vera is the legendary priestess that has the power to ward away this darkness, but apparently she's the one who decided to do something that everybody's wondering what happened to her, how does she die, and who started this whole entire war. I'm not going to spoil anything for you guys because I'm pretty sure you want to actually play the game to figure out what's going on and what you need to do and other things like that, so I'm just going to skip around certain parts of the story so you don't get any spoilers. You get to go through several different types of people. That's Emperor Indrik, which is basically the one guy that is headstrong on changing the one side of the war to his side of the war by being all powerful, using this sort of anti-ancient spiritual tome to make himself more powerful. Then you have Darga, which is part of his army but the captain, but a lot more understanding. She has also some mysterious past behind her, and even more that this game does offer to you for people who love RPG games or a good storyline. Again, I'm not going to introduce any sort of spoilers or anything. I just introduced a couple of characters to you, so hopefully you'll be interested in this game and check it out for yourselves. Now there's several things about this game that made it even more addictive, or what you want to go through. It's a third person, which is always good. You also have a altering timeline, so each area or each story that you complete, either you figure out that there's a vision that you can use to the next person, or you figure out how this vision can inspire this person to giving you something more that another player did not give you through the past storyline. So there's many of openings, many of good to bad to worse, but there's a way or a sequence that you can do to try to make sure to get the right path towards the perfect ending. You can't really go back unless you make another save game, which is kind of frustrating, but all in all, it's all worth it towards the end. Really, this game is something I greatly appreciate because not many RPG storytelling games have ever done this type of thing, where they allow you to alter the timeline by seeing something you saw in someone else's to go into another person's timeline and telling them what you saw, which will change how the timeline will move forward from there, which can go into other openings such as leading towards the end of the game. And that is great. I love that. SpearHead Games, keep doing it. Keep making games like this. This is fun. This is really fun. Again, if you haven't played any of SpearHead's games, check out Stories, Path of Destinies, and Omensight. These games are really good. Something really you could be interested in. Again, if you're not into RPG type murder story or looking around or searching for the clues and type of stuff, you might not be interested in this. But if you are really into RPGs, something where you get to actually fight a huge dark god and monstrous things, followed by figuring out who killed the priestess and everything else like that, then this game is definitely needs to be in your Steam and PS4 library, or should I say and or PS4 library. But thank you for liking, commenting, and subscribing.